skill online course. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the monthly parenting talk. I'm Carmen Lu, your speaker for tonight. So tonight I'm going to share with you time management and self-discipline, as you can see in the screen. So I'm going to share on practical tips to guide young hearts and motivate them effectively. We as parents, we always look for the best ways to guide our children so that we give them the best. Now let me continue my slide, yeah? A brief introduction of me. My profession is a communication and leadership coach, and I'm a certified relationship consultant of LPPKN Malaysia since 2001. I'm a licensed NLP practitioner and also a public speaking practitioner as well. I provided my training services to corporate trainings, public talk, and private coaching as well. Topics of my trainings will focus on personal training, especially communication and leadership. And now I actually dive deep into emotional intelligence as well, and also influencing skill. I have married for 23 years. I have a 21-year-old godson and an 18-year-old daughter. Why I mention this godson? Because he is rather close to me, and I actually nurtured him since he was 1 year old plus. Let's continue now. Why is time management so important? You manage your time, the only you need is discipline. Every one of us has 24 hours, same. Why some people can manage the time and do so many things within the 24 hours besides the sleeping time? And why sometimes you can see that, or you yourself may feel that you are dragging time, delaying, procrastinating. And of course, I believe that you wish that your children learn about time management and discipline as well. That's why this is the code I'm sharing with you. You manage your time. The only thing you need is discipline. Next. Okay, hold on, yeah. Okay, what is the purpose of the talk? This is a parenting talk. The purpose is to educate the parent, to provide the understanding of time management and self-discipline so that you can convey this message to your children, to equip the parents with practical tools and methods, which I will share some of my personal experience, my personal stories handling the 2 children with me, and instill the confidence in parents. All of us, we are parents for the first time during when we had our firstborn, and how we learn up the parenting skill. Yeah, well, I say that is learn by doing, and sometimes it's try and error as well. And sometimes we have parents discussion group and this kind of parenting talk, listen from experience sharing, so that we learn the tips and tricks in order to be a better parent, and wishing that we give our best to our children. To address the challenges, to acknowledge and solve. Of course, we are facing a lot of challenges as parents. So I have prepared Q&A sessions for you as well, so that I receive some questions and I will answer to you after the session, after I finish all the tips and tricks. Of course, to inspire the parent, don't give up. To motivate the parents to prioritize the skills, how are you going to juggle when you want to build up certain skills of the children. And I understand that sometimes it's very overwhelmed. It's okay. I'm here to help you, to support you, sharing my experience, and hopefully my tips and tricks can help you to maneuver smoothly through your parenting journey. Okay. Why is it important to have the concept of time management and self-discipline? Let's go through, yeah? The first one is we want to improve the self-esteem of our children. Self-esteem is something which make a person feel satisfied and confident. So we want to lead our children to achieve goals, boosting their confidence and also self-worth. When you have self-esteem, you will feel like, wow, I'm very good. I'm a great person. I've done something well. That's the emotion, that's the feeling we want to instill in the children. We want to improve that kind of feeling and always go for that feeling. The second thing is we want to prepare them for the future. There are a lot of skills in life. We need to know that we need to prepare our children with essential skills for the future success in education and work. And of course, as a person as well. That's why we pick up a lot of parenting skills to know that what are the skills that we need to prepare them in order for them to have a smooth future or a brighter future. Next, reduce stress. Children, they have stress as well. It's just that they do not know how to say it out. So we need to help them to reduce the stress, make them feel that they are in control, to reduce their anxiety and stress levels. We need to help them, support them, to acknowledge and guide them how to reduce the stress level. This should be done as early as possible, because when they finish their school, they are going into their workforce. We know that the stress level is double or triple level up as well. Next, the final one is to increase the productivity. Once we know how to manage our time and we are disciplined to manage a lot of things, we tend to be very focused and persevere, and that will enhance the task completion efficiency, because we are focused, we know what to do, and even there are challenges, we are willing to take extra steps or extra time, extra effort just to deal with it, just to solve it. And in such a way, we will help them to increase their productivity as well. So for children who can manage their time effectively, they are better to prioritize their job, their tasks, complete assignments on time, and also study efficiently. That's what they need to do at this moment. Before leaving school, they need to study efficiently, leading to improved academic performance. And also, all this, the four things here will help them to have better decision making, because this will help them to knowing how to prioritize time and how to resist impulsive behaviors as well. And definitely it will help them to develop responsibility as well, because they learn how to manage the time and they are responsible of each task so that they are disciplined, they know that they need to complete the task. So these are the features or the attitude that we are instilled with the importance of time management and self-discipline. All right, now let's go into methods and tools to build time management and skill and also the self-discipline in children. As we know, there are a lot of skills in the market, but what are those effective? So these are the tools and methods which I have used and I find it very effective. So I will share with you. Just listen it and then apply it if you feel that it suit your style. Okay, I purposely draw like this. There are 4 methods which I have used. The first method is I establish routines with them. I provide a structure with minimal child engagement, child engagement and yet effective. Okay, the routine is set by me. Example, yeah. Normally, during school days, what time they wake up? For young children, it's always set by the parents. When my children were young, I set alarm and then meet them to wake up by themselves. That is the routine. That is the habit that I instill in them. And my 2 children, in fact, they were state swimmers. That's why they learn the routines, they learn the disciplines from the sports activity as well. So setting this kind of structure will help them to know that, oh, they need to have the discipline. So this is something which will affect their subconscious mind. Now, next thing is when we plan for them, involve the children in the planning, because when we actively engage them, enhance their planning effectiveness. They know that, wow, it's important to plan. And they see that the planning part is actually helping them. For example, my daughter, I will tell her that when she was 6 years old, if I remember correct, I will tell her that, okay, this Saturday we are going to somewhere, and you need to wake up early at 7 o'clock so that we can depart early and then we can reach the place and then we can have fun there. It's an outing. I still remember, and that was a school activity, and parents were invited to join. And because of her involvement in the planning, she was very alert. Once the alarm rang at 6:30, she will automatically woke up and she will just brush her teeth and then clean herself and prepare to go out with the parents, with me. So that is how I involve my children as when they were young in planning, so that they feel that they are involved, they are informed, they know what to do next. Not only by informing them the night before the event, and they will feel like, oh, okay, I just follow what mommy say. So I actually encourage my children to involve in those planning part. And I will ask her as well, do you think that you want to wake up 6:30 or 6:15? I let her make choice, so she learn about the planning and also decision making as well. And teaching goal setting is also part of the methods and tools when build up their time management skill and also self-discipline. So engage the children in goal setting, but effectiveness varies. What does it mean? That means when we set goal, we adults know that goals, we have a SMART goals, SMART. It has to be specific, measurable, achievable, and it has to be realistic, and it has to be timely. Of course, we cannot tell the children in such a way, but we guide them. What my experience, I guided my children in setting goals like, okay, now this month you want me to how many times you want to go out for a movie, for example. So maybe you say that, okay, this month, every month we have once, but this month I would like to have 2. All right, so if you want to have 2, what should you do? What action should you do in order to have another movie time? So I still remember my boy will say that, okay, I will finish my homework faster. This was during lower primary. I will finish my homework faster as soon as I come back, and I will have more screen time, movie time. So this is how I engage him in goal setting. So he knows that in order to have two, what he needs to do. So I give him a time frame as well, because the two movies is actually in weekly time. So actually he knew that when he set things, he has to plan ahead. So indirectly, I'm teaching him goal setting. Oops. All right, the next one is using visual schedules. All right, some children, they are visualized person. So we may need to offer visual support for children who are not so, but lacks active child involvement. That means the visual schedules, sometimes they do not really, you can draw out a table chart. I still remember my young days, my mother draw out a table. Whenever I achieve something, I will get a star chop or get a cute chop. So, and when I accumulate this chop, then I will get like 1 ringgit extra pocket money for that month or for that week. So it works something like this. So make some visual schedule so that they can see it, because sometimes they are not that active involved. When you have this kind of visual, they can see that, oh, that's what their mind can click when they see the things. This can work in certain ways as well. So you can try it. Now, let's go to the tips to effectively use the tools that I mentioned just now. The first thing is start as early as possible. What do I mean? It means that we have to instill this kind of concepts of time and planning at a very young age, as young as possible. Use visual aids like what I mentioned just now, the clocks and calendars to help children understand the passage of time. They learn how to look at the clock as well. I think I don't think they have, because they all have the digital watch. So you can use the digital watch, set timer, set alarm to guide them as well. I still remember when my boy was young, when iPad was first introduced in the market, I actually set time for him to play on iPad, because there are a lot of new games in iPad. So he needs to finish his homework, and then he get the 5 minutes break to on iPad, or 15 minutes break, or he finish whole thing and then he get 30 minutes on iPad. But I set the time for him. I do not want him to look at the screen for too long time. So I set like 30 minutes for him, and then I set the alarm. Once the alarm rang, he needs to break for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So he has to set the time. So this is how I train my boy to use the tool to effectively learn about time management. Second tips is prioritize the tasks. Teach the children how to prioritize tasks based on the importance and urgency. That means we as parents, we explain to them, when you do this, what will happen? If you don't do this, what will happen? So you make your choice. So, and give them that if you do this first, if you do step A first, then step B, this will happen. If you do B, then A, and this is the outcome. So in such a way, they will know that they start to have the concept that, okay, when I prioritize certain tasks, then I will have this outcome, which, I like this outcome. And use tools like to-do lists or color-coded calendars to help them to visualize their priorities. So it's the same thing. Always use calendars or visual things to help them to build up that habit. It works for most of the children. If not, then you may use to-do list or writing. So it depends on your child. You have to trial and error. See, test and try whether which style suit the needs or can train your children effectively on building up the time management skill. And also, of course, self-discipline as well. The third tips is minimize distractions. Yeah, this is very important, because children, they are still young, their mind, they are very active, they are lively. It's not like adult. We know when to focus. So create a quiet and distraction-free environment for studying and completing tasks, and limit the access to electronic devices and other potential distractions. It's just like what I told you just now. I limit the time of my boy access to electronic device, and even the break, I specifically tell him that how long is the break as well, so that he knows how to manage his time and he won't engross. Because most of the time, parents, we when we put them aside, we tend to do our work. And sometimes when we are too engrossed in our work, we may forget to track their time. So use a timer to track, and that may help him to build up the time management concept and also the self-discipline skill as well. And of course, if you have an environment like what I'm having now, this is actually my study room, so it's quiet and it's only for study. Everyone is here. When everyone is in the room, everyone is doing their work, everyone is working on laptop, or it's just an environment which is really cater for focus. All right. The fourth one is using technology wisely. We have technology like calendar apps, reminder apps, productivity apps. There are a lot. So pick those apps which is children friendly. Help them to build up the habit of manage their time. Of course, a mindful of screen time and potential distractions. These are what I mentioned in the first 2 points as well. We leverage on the technology. However, we need to be mindful on the screen time and the distractions as well. So creating the quiet environment is to me is a top-notch thing. And because I like a space like study, not in the living room, not in the dining room, like some, of course you need to create that space. All right. Okay, tips to effectively. Another tips is model good behavior. This is very, very important. As a parent, we are always their role model. They observe what we are doing. And mind you, I guess you are always being challenged by your children as well. And the age is getting younger and younger. They really, why can't I do this and you can do this? They can always challenge us. So be the good model for them on time management and self-discipline. If you ask them to wake up early, and we have to do it as well, we do it together with them, and then to build up their sense of time management and also self-discipline. All right. After all the tips, okay, there are certain strategies for certain group, because children, they grown up in different stages. So some stages where their mind is more, their thought is more stable, more rational, then we need to have different strategies. So I have these tips for you. For ages 4 to 7, I encourage you to use more visual schedule so that they can see it, like what I mentioned. My mother draw a table and then use the chop, that thing, it visualize. You may ask me whether you want to use apps. Yes, there's apps, but if you want to make it more like touchable, make things like more kinesthetic, so they have something to really touch and see, I would suggest that a visual schedules will be better than the apps. Okay, and also use the sand timers and simple countdown clocks. I still remember my 2 children, they like the sand timers very much. Even though we have a virtual one nowadays, the thing that you can see it, you can hold it, and then you can twist it, see the sand dropping. Children like that kind of moment. So create those things which is attractive to them, to help them to manage the time and also build up the self-discipline. Yeah, that's why I say role model and fun rewards as well. So like what my mother did, I collected the chops, and then let's say I collected 10, then I get extra 1 ringgit pocket money for that week. For ages 8 to 12, we have to involve them in planning. They start to have their own thoughts. They will challenge you. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? So involve in planning, and then teach them the prioritization. What is must do, what is can do. Explain to them the consequence, the outcome. If let's say you do this, what will you be? What will you get? If you just do it because of it can do, and because you know that, oh, it can do is very fun, and what will be the outcome? So teach them how to weigh the outcome as well. So if you want to use apps, you can go for Google Calendar or Time Timer as well. So if not, then you may use your watch, your digital watch, or even a simple timer. All right, now let's go into the common challenges in building these 2 habits. I know that parents, we always face a lot of challenges. Yeah, but this is because of all these challenges help us to enhance our skill as a parent and make us a better parents as well. Don't worry, having challenge is normal. Okay, the first challenge is lack of consistency. We are very busy parents, juggling our time among a lot of a lot of positions or role as a mother, as a father, or at work as a manager, then as a daughter, as a son to our parents as well. And sometimes we may have we may have to be mentor for some of our relatives as well. So we have to keep it consistent, because inconsistent routines and expectations can confuse the children and make it difficult for them to develop. Okay. Once they are confused, they start to have doubt. So minimize all these things. Make ourselves be consistent on the routines and expectations. If we say that no, you have to finish your homework by 9:30, then it's 9:30. You have to go to bed by 10, then it's 10. Make it a habit, the routine, fix the routine and expectations to them. Don't confuse them. And what is the suggested solution is parents has to be model and reinforce consistently and use similar routines daily. Some adults, I know that you find it challenging, so you may want to make it a habit from those small habits, so you can work together with your children as well. The second challenge is resistance to structure. Some children, they may resist to a very structure and prefer to be spontaneous. This is very individual. So what I would suggest is plant the seed in their mindset and encourage as and when opportunities arise. Um, Let me share with you how I handle my boy. My boy is actually someone that he always feel that, oh, you ask him whether you want to go here or what's your plan for next week. He will say, see how first, especially when he was in secondary school. Sometimes the see how first is rather challenging for me, because I'm the type that I like to plan ahead with time with possible fixed schedule for certain programs, so that I can slot in for some spontaneous program or emergency program. So I would, when things happen, it's just happened that there's one time, I think, yeah, I remember my mother-in-law fell down, and this is an emergency thing, and we need to slot in. We need to directly immediately change our schedule because of her fall, and we have to cater for her needs at that moment. So this spontaneous change let him see that, wow, if let's say there is a structure, at least we know that how far we can defer that thing to deal with the emergency thing. And that's the time that this thing strike his mind, and he start to see that having structure is good in certain ways. And of course, from then onwards, he will start to have planning, but it's not that as much as what I do. So I need to guide him from time to time. So now he's actually 21 years old. So I can see that he managed his life quite well. He's staying away from me, not with me in the same city. And I sometimes when I check on him, I find that he's really disciplined, very well disciplined, and he knows what he's doing as well. Okay, challenge number 3 is the power struggles. Parents, you may struggle to find time and energy to consistently support your children and develop their skills. So this happens to every parent, okay? So let the children feel ownership. Involve them in setting the schedule and rules. Remember, just now I mentioned that involve them in planning. So we are actually transferring the ownership to them. So make them feel accountable and have the ownership. This is a part of the training of having ownership in themselves. So they need to manage their time, they need to be disciplined as well. So when we slowly guide them through the ownership, in fact, you can see that they can be more disciplined, and they know how to initiate in a lot of things, and also prioritization. Okay, challenge 4, distractions. Electronic devices, social media, and other attractions, like let's say the noise in the surrounding in your housing area in certain hours. Let's say you are staying near the football field, and every evening there are children playing football, and the noise may distract the children to focus on tasks. So in such a way, we have to setting boundaries, and also around the screen time, and also other activities. Take the noise from the nearby basketball. If you know that normally the basketball environment will be very noisy from let's say 6 to 7 or maybe 5:30 to 7. Make it that time, relax time for your children. Maybe their screen time, and maybe they have to tidy their school bag, prepare for some other things, or maybe ask them to help you in the kitchen as well. So this can be a way to reduce all the distractions, so that they can really build up their habit in time management. So they know that, oh, I can juggle my time, I can switch it according to prioritization. Challenge number 5 is unrealistic expectations. Okay, some children, they are born as a perfectionist. They may struggle with perfectionism, leading to procrastination and anxiety. Once they cannot get what they want, they may keep quiet, and they do not know that they don't need to voice out and bring up for discussion. But deep inside, they are very anxious. So parents, you need to be alert with this. So when you see things of this kind of things happen, we have to encourage them to focus on the progress, not the perfection, and always teach them to celebrate small wins. So little achievements, you can bring them to their favorite food. Maybe like my case, I seldom bring them to McDonald's. So every time when finish exam, I will always say that, come, let's go McDonald's for a chocolate top, and that's my children's favorite. And when my daughter, she's more towards a perfectionist, she will say that, I can't get the marks that I expected. So I always guide her to see that what you learn along the journey is much more important than what the marks that you get, because the marks is only for you to score, but the learning is your experience, which will help you to enrich your life, enrich your knowledge, so that you are a knowledgeable person. So we have to guide our children to have realistic expectations, so that they understand that it's always the progress. It's not we have to be perfect. Nobody can be perfect. Everyone is always work in progress. Okay. Okay, so here comes I finished my sharing. Let's go into this. What are the key takeaways? Okay, the first key takeaways is importance of building time management skills and discipline, as what I mentioned, is for academic success, is for better decision making, and also develop their sense of responsibility. And there are 5 methods and tools to build. Remember, the first one is establish routine. Second one is involve the children in planning. The third one is teach goal setting. The fourth one is use visual schedules. Okay. Now, what about the common challenges? Inconsistency, the unrealistic expectation, and also there are a few which parents may feel that is very very hard to keep the pace. So these are all the things which we will face as a parent. But just bear in mind that we need to be patient, we need to empathize, and we need to be consistent. Remember, our goal is to teach a lifelong skills. Okay, so don't worry, we are learn by doing as well. We can make mistake as well. I hope that what I share you will enhance your skill, or refine your certain skill as well. Okay, next, let's go to Q&A. All right, so let's see what are the questions which I have received so far. Okay, the first one. The first question is, my child always rushes through homework and get more screen time. Yeah, this is normally what children they like to do. And how do I handle this? So my suggestion is set clear expectations. Screen time is earned only after you complete your task or your work. And it has to be quality work. It's not simply do it and then you finish and you just want a screen time. So use a point system. You can use a point system or task completion ticket. We adult at work, we always raise ticket for for issues. So we can always tell them, okay, there's a task completion ticket. So you can manually do one, and then make them have like a fun process. We need to make it like very fun to them, so that the screen time can be controlled, and also they know that this is actually how to discipline themselves in order to finish your homework first, then only you have your screen time. Even though if let's say he finished earlier, let's say the screen time starts from 9, if he or she manages to finish it earlier, then the bonus is he can start the screen time earlier. I think that will motivate him as well. But of course, if let's say it's not quality, then you can say that you have to redo and you have to delay the screen time, and that will really make them feel very painful. All right. The second thing, the second questions, what if my child says, I forgot? They always say, I forgot. Some children may do that. So help them to externalize their memory. Maybe you want to use checklist, want to use alarm, want to use visual cues, write down on certain small, colorful, cute pad, then let them tick off the completed task, to have a like, okay, I have that action. That can actually help them to remind, okay, this is the thing that I want to do. And some people like me, actually when I tick or when I strike off those checklists, I feel wow, sense of accomplishment. So it helped me to reduce my I forgot moment as well. So try this on your children. If let's say he or she always say that I forgot. Okay, the third one. How can I stop nagging my child to do things on time? All right. As a mom, I always nag as well. So I nag until certain moments I feel that wow, I'm so naggy, and I did not like myself at that time. So what I do is I shift my nagging to prompting system. So I change, like, okay, I just do a high level nudge. Okay, for example, my daughter just your children is going for a excursion. He or she is tidying up the luggage. So you, as a mom, you like, oh, you remember to take what? Take the towel, take the insect repellent, take what, or whatever thing. So you may want to prompt him that, do you take sufficient things? Think of what can help you if you are in emergency. Maybe you have a mosquito bite. What should you do? So help him or help and guide them to think that way, so that we stop nagging, and also we instill the sense of ownership. Remember just now what I said, and also they start to learn planning as well. They have to think ahead. Okay, when I go for this excursion, let's say in Taiping Zoo, what should I bring? Okay, teacher said that we have this kind of activities. So if he or she doesn't know how, if let's say for lower primary, take out the itinerary, work together with them how to plan ahead, and that will help us to stop nagging, because we divert our attention to prompt and guide them. So if let's say you feel that this is not the first time, then you may want to let them off. Let this hand off, let them try. And if they ever forget things, if they go in a group with the school, of course teachers will prepare something for them as well. And when they, at that moment when they miss out that thing and somebody help them, they can actually remember very well. I remember this incident because my children, as I said, they were state swimmers. So when they went out for swimming competition, a lot of times that they forget this, forget that. And when the teammate helps, they really appreciate and they remember that. And the next time onwards, the things that they forget to bring is lesser and lesser. This is how I see that, wow, they really build up the self-discipline from how they plan ahead, and I stop nagging as well. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, is it too early to teach time management to a 5-year-old? What do you all think? I personally feel that no, it's not. Even though it's if let's say it's 2 or 3 years old, we can actually tune their biological clock. Like just now what I mentioned to you, wake up early. So make it a routine for 2 to 3 years old. We already send them to childcare center. So we may need to make it a routine, like, okay, you wake up early, because in childcare center, like for childcare center for young children, they actually have afternoon nap. So they will replenish their sleep, and at night they will sleep early if they do not have sufficient sleep and they are tired. So begin with simple morning routines and consistent sleep wake times. That's my suggestion, because that will help to regulate their biological clock, and at the same time they will know that, okay, every morning once I wake up, I need to go toilet, washroom, to pee, and to brush my teeth, and to take bath. So these are the routines which I set, morning routines I set for my two children. And I still remember before sleep I made them to clean themselves by, I did not get them on a bath, because at night they are too young. So I get the small towel, wet it, and then wipe their body before they change to pajamas. And I still remember there's one time when my daughter was 2 years old. She actually initiated that she wanted to clean herself up. Yep. So I gave her a small pail, a very light pail, and a very small towel, and then she just did her cleaning each night after her request. So she knows that before sleep she needs to clean up herself. So it's a routine. And and she knows that every time she's the one need to take the water, and she needs to do her cleaning up as well. And after that she needs to clean up the small towel and then hang it up somewhere in the bathroom at a specific place. So this is a way to train them to know to understand the routines and build up the self-discipline. And of course the time, we can say that, oh, it's 9 o'clock already, or it's 9:30 already, you need to get ready to bed. So this is the routine which we can set so that we can guide them in time management. Another way that I would suggest to train on time management is, if your children, they are very active, you involve them in sports training, like badminton training or futsal training or swimming. Now there are a lot of activities, and this kind of sports activities, if they have coach, they will be very disciplined and they are very strict with the time. Basketball as well. If let's say you are the children are in primary school, volleyball as well, because I find that coach in sports, they are very disciplined and they want to build up the discipline of the children as well. So if your children, they are a very sports person, they are very active, they like sports, do send them to badminton session, like I say, badminton, volleyball, basketball, or swimming, so that to build up that routine with the help of third party, external, those people besides the parents, that will be more effective. Okay. If you ask me when to start, it depends on the interest of the children, of your child, because some may start it like 5 years old. Like my children, they started their swimming lesson at the age of 6. Yep. So that's how this thing helped to build up the habit. Next one. Next question. Question number 5. Today I received a few questions because of the time management and self-discipline. How can both parents align when one is lenient and one other is stricter? Okay, it's always parents. We always have two directions. Okay, so maybe we need to have a weekly parent huddle. Is a discussion group among the parents, between the parents, on the expectations, on the shared routines. So remember, it's like our work. We need to have a weekly huddle. So the parent, you need to have your own discussion on how to nurture them, how to bring up their habit in time management and self-discipline. So if the mom, if let's say, I still remember when I see that those things that my husband did and I don't like, I do not stop him directly in front of the children, but I get him aside and to tell him. And I also have a time that both of us go out, and then or after the children sleep, we will do some discussion. Hey, what happened? What happened this morning in the daytime, and how is my take when he had that kind of reaction. He did that to the children. So this kind of discussion help us to know that, okay, to align what is the way that both of us want to build up the habit of the children. And also parents, the consistency between the parents builds stronger habits in children as well. So the consistency in meeting up the weekly, and actually, or maybe you want it like as and when the day, at the end of the day, you need to do this, you need to do the discussion. Yeah, by all means, if you feel that it's not burden to both the parents, yeah, it's good. At least you went through what happened in the daytime, and then you come to you have a conclusion, and you have a line your expectation by the end of the day. It will be good. I really like that. Okay, next one. My child procrastinates a lot. How can I help them to overcome this? Okay, procrastination is sometimes is due to maybe the task is too big. So I would suggest the large task to break it into smaller part, more manageable steps. And of course, it depends on the ability of your children as well. So set realistic deadlines for each step. Don't set that, oh, he has to finish the thing within 1 hour, which you know that he can only finish it the next day. So set realistic deadlines so that encourage them. We need to cultivate the sense of achievement in them, so motivate them as well. So and identify the underlying reasons for procrastination. So why they procrastinate? Is it because he's a perfectionist, or she lacks of interest in that topic? She doesn't like mathematics, and so she always procrastinate in completing her maths. So if this is the case, maybe the parents need to spend more time on going through the homework on maths with the children, or you may want to engage a tuition teacher just to help her to raise the level of mathematics. Because why I say mathematics, because my girl was actually quite weak in mathematics, so I engaged a mathematics tuition teacher, and I find that it really helps her, because the mathematics session was actually online, and with four friends together, and they are actually help each other. It's like a peer support throughout that journey, and I can see that she raised the interest in maths is raised to a better level after after the tuition teacher. I engaged the tuition teacher. So positive reinforcement is always the best thing to encourage the progress. Okay. Next one. My child is overwhelmed with too many activities. Yeah, nowadays children, they have a lot of activities, and sometimes they plan for their own as well. So how can I help them to prioritize? So this is the part which, remember what I said, the can do and need to do. So we need to help them to identify their priorities and also the values as well. Discuss the pros and cons of each activity and make informed decisions about which ones to pursue. Justify why you suggest that activity first, or why you suggest this activity to delay. So teach them how to say no to commitments that not align with their priorities as well. So they may not uh, they may not they may not dare to say it out, because sometimes it depends on the teacher. Some teacher, when they say no, teacher doesn't like. So if let's say these things happen, we may need to teach them how to say no, and in a very polite way, and it's declining, not a rejection. So make it a more diplomatic way, so that they know that no, not to say that no, I don't want. It's just that I'm afraid that I have limitations in doing this. I'm not that capable. Teacher, can you help me? Can you give me some guidance? Something like that, so that we can help them to cut down on commitments to certain things which we know that they are not able to focus on so many activities. They have a lot of some children. They have a lot of activities. They like to play chess. They like to learn art, drawing. They will go for music classes, and then they want to go for yeah, I still remember my girl went for what, origami class as well. So it really depends on what are their priorities. Maybe you want to say that, okay, this one you learn for this year, and then next year we go for other hobbies, other skill enhancement class. So this is the way that we cut down their activities, so that they won't be too overwhelmed and they are not that tired as well. Okay. Next one. How can I model good time management and self-discipline for my child? Aha. Okay, as what I say, parents, we have to be the role model. Be organized and punctual in your own life and show your children that how you plan your day, prioritize tasks, and manage your time effectively. I personally did this, especially during pandemic, because my children we are in the same room, in this study room. So I'm actually having my online meetings here every day. It's just the same place during the pandemic, and I can see that during online classes, both of them actually pick up some of my time management and self-discipline skill. They know that I'm very punctual in meeting, because when I log into certain meetings, I'll say that, oh, sorry, my timing was overrun in my previous meeting. I apologize. So they pick up all these things, so they know that, oh, we need to be organized, we need to be punctual, and even if we are late to the meeting, we need to apologize as well. And whenever I communicate with them, I always share with them my challenges and how I overcome them. So indirectly, I guide them through my life experience. So they are like in the picture. Yeah, in certain way, they cannot understand very well. So let them ask questions. So I will use certain choice of words which can match their understanding at that time. So this is how I build up the understanding of uh, them towards challenges, especially in time management and self-discipline. So I be their model. Yeah, that's what I say. So parents, take the opportunity, and this is a very good bonding time when you are actually involved in modeling them that what you have done. Okay. So here are all my question which I received, and I hope that among all these questions, it helped you to have some answers, which some of this is actually your challenges as well. All right, next, what are your two tasks? We are coming to the end, so I would like to share with you the two tasks, the immediate tasks you can act on. When we teach our children, this is a concept which we have to remember, that when we teach our children how to manage their time, we are giving them the tools to manage their life. Yeah, we are providing the tools. So your task for the first two tasks is track their progress. Okay, whether they are very disciplined, whether they know their time, manage their time well or not. And then if you find that you need to add on some of the process, enhance it with my suggestion. Be patient with the process. Okay, they are still young, they need time to pick up certain things, and it depends on individual. Some may pick up very fast, some may be slow, so give them some time and be patient. What is our ultimate goal when training them to pick up the time management skill and self-discipline? Is actually help them to learn to manage time and be self-disciplined, to foster a sense of responsibility and accountability in their life. They need to be responsible and accountable for their own life. So this is the best time to cultivate them with these two values, which they can really success in their life. Okay, next, our upcoming lesson would be interest and talent development. So I'm going to share with you how to raise how to cultivate their interest and talent, how to explore, how to discover their talent and then develop further. And I will share more in our next month sharing. So thank you very much for your time, and I see you in the next lesson.